Welcome, and thank you for joining me tonight. Let us take a quiet journey, far away from the rush of modern life, to a small, thatched village in medieval Japan. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a rice paddy, the water reflecting a pale morning sky, while mist slowly lifts from the fields. The air is soft, scented faintly with damp earth and the fragrance of growing rice shoots. Tonight, we will move slowly through the rhythms of this village. We will feel the gentle yet persistent pulse of daily life, the tasks that shaped each day, and the quiet, enduring patterns that guided its people. We will meet a legendary figure whose life moved between courage and expectation, explore the mysteries of ritual and folklore, and then glimpse the contrasting world of the village elite. There is no need to hurry. You are here simply to observe, to drift alongside the villagers, and perhaps to let your mind rest, carried by the gentle sway of history. Take a soft breath, and as you exhale, imagine stepping through a low gate into this village, where time seems to move more slowly, measured by the seasons, the sun, and the rhythm of human hands. Imagine waking just before dawn, as the sky still clings to night. Your small, wooden home is cool and faintly damp from the night's condensation. The walls are made of woven bamboo, the floor thin and hard beneath your feet. You would rise quietly, careful not to disturb those still asleep, and step onto the uneven dirt floor. The first task of the day is often water. You carry a heavy bucket from a nearby well, the handle rough against your palms, the water cool and trembling slightly as you walk. Then the work in the rice paddies begins. The earth is soft and muddy, squelching around your ankles as you bend low, planting each rice seedling with care. The sun slowly climbs, warming your back, while the occasional mist still lingers in the distance. Alongside planting, you might tend to thatched roofs, repairing broken sections with bundles of straw. Your hands smell faintly of straw and earth, and the repetitive motion sets a slow rhythm to your day. Sometimes, a samurai passes through, checking the village, reminding you of the taxes and duties owed. You would bow, quietly, and continue your work, feeling the weight of obligation press gently, like the clouds overhead before a drizzle. Lunch might be simple, a piece of rice, perhaps a few pickled vegetables. The food is modest, but it sustains. You eat slowly, appreciating the calm quiet that surrounds the fields, the faint calls of birds, the ripple of water over mud. Then, back to work, weeding, tending livestock, gathering firewood. Each task blends into the next, the day marked by small, careful movements and the soft, steady rhythm of survival. As the sun begins to dip, painting the sky with muted pinks and oranges, the work is far from over. Evening chores include fetching water again, preparing the modest meal for your family, and perhaps checking on neighbors or sharing small stories in hushed tones. The village seems alive, yet measured, a slow heartbeat of human effort and quiet endurance. When night falls, the village rests under the open sky, lanterns casting gentle, flickering light on wooden structures. You might lie on a straw mat, listening to the wind through the bamboo, and feel the steady, unchanging rhythm of village life. The pattern of planting, repairing, tending, and waiting for tomorrow. This is a life of repetition, of labor intertwined with the landscape, a life guided by seasons, by the small needs of survival, and by the quiet expectation of those around you. There is a certain peace in its predictability, even as it demands much from those who live it. The rhythm of their lives is slow, and now, as the sky darkens, you are invited to drift along with it, letting the soft cadence of work, water, and wind lull your thoughts into calm reflection. As the village settles into evening, let us turn our attention to a figure whose story drifted gently through the hills and forests of Japan. A woman named Tomoe Gozen. She lived in a time when swords and honor guided the lives of many, yet her path was quietly remarkable, measured not by grand spectacle, but by the steady rhythm of duty and courage. Imagine her small, wooden home, where the first light of dawn slips across polished floors. She rises quietly, not unlike the peasants we just followed, though her tasks are different: training, learning strategy, practicing the careful movements of swordsmanship. Her world is disciplined, each motion deliberate, each breath taken with intention. Tomo's days are filled with travel between camps and villages, where she offers counsel, guides warriors, and, when necessary, steps onto the field herself. Her life is one of balance, the sharpness of her skill tempered by thoughtful reflection, the weight of expectations softened by moments of quiet contemplation. She does not rush. Every movement, every decision, flows gently from thought to action, like water over smooth stones. Her story is also one of resilience. Tomoe moves through a landscape shaped by political tensions and warfare, yet she is defined not solely by conflict, but by the careful manner in which she navigates it. She follows orders, supports allies, and protects those in her care, always mindful of her surroundings, always aware of the rhythms of both nature and society. Consider, too, the softer moments of her life. Resting beneath a flowering cherry tree, listening to the faint hum of cicadas in summer, feeling the brush of wind against her cheeks, the earth firm beneath her feet. Even a warrior's life has pauses, quiet intervals where the body and mind catch up to the intensity of duty. Her legend grew, not because she sought attention, but because others quietly noticed her steadfastness and grace. Songs and tales would drift slowly from village to village, painting an image of a skilled, honorable woman. And yet, behind the legend, there was a person whose life, like ours, was composed of repeated routines, moments of fatigue, small victories, and careful reflection. Imagine following her through a soft morning mist, hearing the distant crow of roosters, feeling the morning chill on your hands as you practice the patterns of discipline alongside her. The world is slow, deliberate, and measured, each day unfolding gently, each decision carrying weight without urgency. In this way, the life of Tomoe Gozen becomes a quiet companion to our evening thoughts, an example of balance, focus, and endurance. She moved with the steady rhythm of her era, attuned to duty, landscape, and season, and in watching her life, we see the intimate pattern of human persistence across time. As the sun dips behind distant hills and the village sleeps, her story lingers softly in your mind, guiding your thoughts downward, toward rest, toward stillness. As night deepens over the village, let us drift into a quieter, more contemplative rhythm. Imagine walking slowly along a narrow path that winds between rice paddies and small wooden homes, the air carrying the faint scent of damp earth and burning incense. Here, the village is alive in subtle ways, not with loud celebration, but with gentle rituals and practices that have been followed for generations. One of these quiet traditions is the Shinto festival, softly marking the changing of seasons. Villagers would gather in small shrines, their movements deliberate and calm, offering small gestures of respect to the spirits they believed lingered in the land, the trees, and the flowing streams. You might hear the slow clink of a bell, the low murmur of a chant, or the brushing of hands over carved wooden surfaces. Each motion is measured, carried out with patience and attention. In spring, they observe the rice planting rituals. Before the first seedlings enter the muddy paddies, a simple offering of rice or sake might be left at the edge of the field. This quiet act acknowledges the invisible forces of growth and harvest, a gentle dialogue between humans and the earth. Imagine standing there, water seeping between your toes, the sky pale above, listening to the soft ripple of wind through young shoots. There are also smaller, more intimate traditions, peculiar to each village. Some involve arranging stones or small wooden figurines in the home or at the edge of the fields, believed to invite protection or good fortune. Others mark life's transitions, births, marriages, the passage of seasons, without fanfare, using subtle gestures, soft songs, and careful repetition. Occasionally, one may encounter the mystery of a forgotten shrine or an old stone marker, weathered and half hidden in moss. Its origins are unknown, its meaning partially lost, yet it holds a presence, a quiet whisper of the past. Standing before it, you might feel a gentle connection across time, a bridge to those who placed it centuries ago, following rhythms you can barely see but can sense in the stillness around you. The rituals, like the villagers themselves, move with a soft, unhurried cadence. There is no urgency, only continuity. Every motion, every offering, every pause by the shrine or rice paddy contributes to a world measured by observation, respect, and the gentle sway of seasons. You might imagine yourself walking alongside them, quietly placing your own small offering, feeling the calm wash over you like a slow stream. As the moon rises over the village rooftops, casting silver light over the thatched homes, the rituals continue in a subtle, invisible pattern. The air is filled with the soft fragrance of incense, the rustle of leaves, and the distant cry of a night bird. You are free to drift in this space, carried by the measured pace of ritual and tradition, your thoughts becoming softer, slower, and lighter. Here, in the hush of custom and mystery, we find a moment of serene connection, a place where history and quiet contemplation meet, and where the day's worries may gently begin to fall away. As the village sleeps under the soft glow of lanterns, let us turn our gaze to the world of the elite, the daimyo households that quietly shaped the rhythms of the region. Unlike the villagers, whose days are measured by toil and survival, the upper class moves within a different, more deliberate cadence, one marked by ceremony, garden paths, and the slow unfolding of privilege. Imagine stepping through the tall gates of a daimyo residence. The air here is scented with polished wood, fresh tatami mats, and the faint aroma of incense lingering from the morning ritual. The rooms are spacious, with sliding shoji screens filtering gentle light, casting soft patterns on the floor. The rhythm of life is still measured, but it is guided by comfort, ceremony, and careful attention to etiquette. In the gardens, carefully raked gravel and winding paths lead the eye to small ponds and flowering trees. Water trickles slowly from bamboo spouts, birds move quietly through the branches, and every element is arranged to encourage reflection and calm. A tea ceremony may take place in the afternoon, each gesture measured, each movement deliberate and unhurried. The preparation of tea, the placement of utensils, the pouring of water, all create a soft rhythm that is soothing, almost hypnotic, in its quiet precision. The daily routine of the daimyo and their family is filled with similar subtleties. They rise with the sun, yet their day is not dominated by heavy labor. Instead, it is shaped by observation, planning, and gentle oversight of the lands and people under their care. Meals are prepared with care, using fresh ingredients, and shared in quiet companionship, the act of eating itself a form of meditation. Even within this life of comfort, there are obligations, ceremonies to attend, alliances to maintain, and social protocols to observe. But these too follow a calm, predictable rhythm. Compared to the villagers, the elite move through a world of slow influence and deliberate observation, where power is expressed subtly, and time is a companion rather than a taskmaster. As you imagine walking slowly through a daimyo garden, feeling the smooth stones beneath your feet, and watching the sunlight filter through flowering branches, notice the contrast with the village we visited earlier. Here, life is gentler in its demands, yet it follows a rhythm no less attentive, no less structured. Both worlds, peasant and elite, are tied to the land, the seasons, and the unhurried pulse of daily existence. And now, as the evening deepens and the last lanterns flicker, we return softly to the quiet of the village, carrying with us the gentle impressions of both labor and leisure. Feel the calm of these centuries-old rhythms settle around you. The rustle of leaves, the distant water in the rice paddies, the whisper of wind through bamboo. They are a lullaby of history, slow and steady. Let your mind drift with the gentle cadence of these lives, the planting, the ritual, the measured luxury, and find rest in the timeless, soothing patterns of the past. The villagers, the warriors, and the daimyo alike have settled into their evening, and so can you. Close your eyes softly, breathe slowly, and let the quiet, unhurried rhythm of medieval Japan carry you into sleep.